Hi guys, my name is Shane. I want to welcome you to this trading video. This one is going to be about market structure. So understanding the structure of the market, how it moves, is really important to successful trading. And in this one, I will discuss market structure, breaks of structure, and also market structure shifts. So these are key components to learn if you are serious about your trading. Now, if you've subscribed to the channel already, thanks very much. I really appreciate it. And if you're new here, maybe you'll click on the subscribe button if you do want to learn about upcoming informational videos about trading and also live trades that I do myself. So let's have a look at the charts and to discuss some market structure. Okay guys, so before I begin here, I know that many of you are already trading and some people are new to trading, so there's all different levels of experience going to be watching this. But I think no matter how advanced you are in your trading, it's always a good reminder to have the foundations correct. So in this one, we're discussing market structure. I believe it is the magic that's in the market is market structure, because if you understand the concepts within this, it'll help you to find the best entries in the market, whether it be long when you're buying or short when you're selling short into the market. So firstly, we're going to look at here is what is a trend. Okay, so we need to understand when the market is trending. So on the left hand side here, you can see in green, this is the market moving to a high, a low, a higher low, and so on. So this is an uptrend here on the left. The HH and the HLs represent a higher high, higher low to a higher high. This high is higher than the previous high. Then we have a higher low. This higher low is higher than the previous low. And then it makes a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and so on. So this would be the nuts and bolts of exactly what an uptrend is. And the opposite is true for a downtrend. So when a market is moving down, it tends to have this kind of structure. So you'll make a low, a lower high, a lower low, lower high than the previous high, a lower low than the previous low, again a lower high than the previous high, and so on. Now, markets won't look exactly like this, obviously, and we'll look at some chart examples later on in this lesson. So second then is to look at the terms break of structure. This is a term that is used by many people out there in the trading sphere. And then market structure shift, a term I believe from ICT, Inner Circle Trader Concepts. Now, some people get both of these maybe mixed up. A break of structure, we're going to look at it with some diagrams on the next slide. A market structure shift sometimes has different names. Some people call it CHOCK, C-H-O-C-K, which is a change in character, which is the same thing as a market structure shift. The way I used to, like I've been trading about 10 years, but I used to always just call it a trend change. So you've got an uptrend moving up, and then there's a break in trend to a downtrend. I used to call it just a trend change, but I'm just going to stick to the terms market structure shift for this one. Okay, I want to discuss first a break of structure and what this is. On the next slide, I'll show you a diagram. But really, when a trend is moving up, the way I define it is it's when a trend continues and it breaks a previous high in an uptrend. So this is a bullish trend. A break of structure in a downtrend is when a trend continues and it breaks a previous low in a downtrend. So this is like a bearish trend. So what does that look like? So here, this is a break of structure in an uptrend. It's price moving up to a high, it pulls back, and then it takes out that previous high. So that's a break of the structure. Okay, so we've moved this, at this point here, we've moved higher. Then price may pull back, move higher, but the key area is this break of structure, which is when this high gets taken out, then technically we do have a break of structure. So it's a continuation of the trend upwards. Price moves up, pulls back, we break a previous high, and so on. So this is an uptrend, it's a bullish trend. In other words, some people, when they trade, they wait for these breaks of structure, and when price comes back, they like to maybe buy in these pullbacks and then enter trades, hopefully targeting the previous high, for example. Okay, So on the next screen here, we see a break of structure to the downside in a bearish trend. So price is moving down, pulls back, we break this low here at this point, price moves down. So there's a break of structure. Price tends to want to retrace up, and anything can happen in here. But once that low is taken out again here and we break it, it's another break of structure. So the downtrend is continuing. So we're still in a downtrend until something else happens. And what is that something else that changes a trend from a downtrend to an uptrend, or from an uptrend to a downtrend? What is that? And it's what's called a market structure shift. In this diagram, we're looking at how an uptrend changes into a downtrend and when that happens. Okay, so here obviously on the left you can see higher highs, higher lows, and then there comes a point when one of the lows gets taken out, and this orange dot here represents the actual moment when we move from high, low, higher high, and then we break, and then we have a low here which is a lower low than the previous low. So usually when that happens, then we'll see a move up before failing to break the high, and price will then sell off and make a lower low than the previous low and a lower high than the previous high, and then our uptrend has technically changed to a downtrend. And it's in these locations here that this is my golden nugget here. This is the zone where I'm looking for my shorts. When I see an uptrend change to a downtrend, that's one of the best places to get into a downtrend. And obviously I would have other entries on the way down, but this will be one of my primary or first entries into a short trade. Now I will discuss trading strategies and exactly how to play these kind of setups and what I'm looking for in upcoming videos, so make sure to subscribe and you'll get to see them as well. So what does this look like then on the other side, from a downtrend to an uptrend? Okay, so here we go. We have our downtrend here on the left. Price is making lower highs, lower lows, and then there comes a point when price moves up and takes out this lower high and price breaks it. Okay, so at that moment we have a technical shift, and price tends to then want to come back, take a zone here, and then move higher. So this is where I would be looking for a long or a buy entry when I'm trading. Now, when it comes to a trading strategy, we do want to see a nice break here before we would consider potentially getting long in this zone here. And I have a number of criteria I would use to get into a long there, which I'll speak about in upcoming videos. So this is the market structure shift, or we can call it MSS on this chart. So I love these setups, and they happen all the time, every day. But the thing is, which is very, very important, is that where this happens is key. And also what time of the day this happens is key for me as part of a trading strategy. You don't just take trades because you see a market break. There's a few other factors which come into play in a profitable trading strategy that I'll discuss in an upcoming video. So now let's have a look at the chart, have a look at some examples of this, and I have a chart here ready for you. Okay guys, so this is a 5-minute chart of the euro dollar. And I just want to use this as an example of what we're speaking about. So there's always uptrends, downtrends, uptrends, downtrends happening on any chart and in any time frame. So you can do this on daily charts, hourly charts. I'm using a 5-minute chart as an example. Most of my trading is on the 5-minute chart. I do look at higher time frame for analysis on levels, but I primarily look at the 5-minute chart when I'm trading. So if we start on the left-hand side here, we can see we have a low point here. We moved up to a high, and then we move down here to a low point here. And then what happens is price moves up and it breaks the previous high over here. So technically, we have a downtrend, low, high, lower low, but then we break that previous high. So this is a break in structure here. Now potentially we're in an uptrend. So then next we look at price where it moves. We move to, let's say, this high here. We pull back. We make a new high up here. But then what happens is we have another break of structure here. Okay, because this low breaks this previous low. So now potentially we're in a downtrend. So these are the when this move happens up, and then we have a break of structure to a downtrend, I'm looking in zones like this to take a short. So this is like an area I would be looking at to potentially take a short. Okay, price moves up, high, lower high, higher high, we break, we pull back, and then I would like to get into trades in these areas. So let's have a look at this downtrend. Does it continue? So from this high here, we move down to this low point here. What happens next? We move up, up, up. Do we take out this high? Is there a market structure shift? No. So that's our new high. And does this lower high get taken out, or the higher high? Which will get taken out first? So the higher high is not taken out. So the lower high is taken out over here. So then this becomes the low here. And then we got a lower high at this swing high here. So then what happens? We go down and we break structure again. This low is taken out down here. And price moves up and we get a lower high here. It's lower than the previous high. Okay. And then we move lower down here. So if you were in a short position, you're happy to hold your trade because you're still in a downtrend. So high, low, we get a lower high at this point here. Then price moves all the way down to this low here, bottom. And then price moves up and boom. This is really, really important. What happened? We're after taking out this high. So this downtrend of lower lows and lower highs has been broken at this point. And that tells me that we may be in an uptrend. So then I'd be looking for a pullback from this high, a pullback down to get into a trade long, looking for this high to be broken. Does it happen? Yes, it happens here. And then we get a pullback to this low, move up to this high, and then we have a higher low here. And price moves up to this higher high, higher low, higher high, and so on. So the key areas I'm looking at for entries is this kind of zone for a long. Why? Because we have a downtrend that changes into an uptrend. So it's a great place to get into a long position and hold your trade. And let's keep moving here. Let's see what happens next. As you can see here, we've made a higher high up here. At what point does the trend change? You look at there yourself. What do you think? What needs to happen for this trend to change? Well, look at this low over here. We have a break in structure. If that's broken, boom, we get a break all the way down here. Pull back. So this here is another break of structure. Why? From the very bottom, we have a low, higher high, higher low. We're in an uptrend here, making a series of higher highs, higher lows, until the point where, boom, we break. And we break this low. So now we're in a short trend. And let's just mark that up. So we've got a high here. Now, why do I not mark this as a low? Is because this high has to break or this low has to break before I draw my next lower high or lower low. So technically, our high does not break, but our low does. So then I move the next swing point down, possibly to there. Lower high, lower low, lower high, boom, we've got another break again, and so on. So there we go. These are the key components of market structure shift. So this is a market structure shift number 1 up here. Our second market structure shift was here, with potential entry here. Third market structure shift here. Didn't really pull back much, so this wouldn't really be an entry for me based on my criteria. I would like price to pull back somewhere around, at least around the halfway point of this swing. So if we're going to use Fibonacci's from high, let's say that swing high there, down to low, just for example, swings, I'd be looking for at least a 50% retracement plus some other confluences in order to take a trade. So I hope this explains breaks of structure, market structure shifts in more detail. Please leave some comments down below or any questions you might have on it, or if there's any videos you would like to see. Now my plan is to do a video next on order blocks and fair value gaps, which are 2 concepts from ICT, and they're 2 of the criteria I use to help me get into trades as well. So hope to have them videos very soon. So make sure to like, subscribe to the channel if you are interested in seeing more trading related videos. And have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.